Hey guys, what's going on? Today I'm going to be showing you my Pendulum deck profile. So it is a 45 card deck that's really fun to play around with. So if you're like a new player, or if you're like an existing player that wants to try something new, I recommend Pendulums because it's such a fun deck, and it's actually really good in meta too. So yeah, get straight into it, I suppose. So I'll be showing you guys the main, the side, and the extra. So to start it off with the main, we play the turbo cards, I like to call them. So 3 Cerberus with the 2 Jackal King. So these are really good. So Cerberus is like amazing for getting out a free body, also with Jackal King. So if you end up not needing the body for Cerberus, you can always use the Jackal King hand for pen summon, and it's an extra negate. So that's why I like these 5. Also for the turbos, we play 3 Chronograph with the Time Gazer. So Chronograph's really good because it has loads of toolbox utility with the special from hand, and then Time Gazer being level 3 can add up to some synchro plays with harmonizing. So these 4 are really good. Also for the turbo cards, we play 3 Curtain Raiser. So Curtain Raiser is literally just a free body, and again rank 4. So it for the Pendulum summon, you can use it for even more utility to go into Beast Dweller, or even OTK with using the extra body for the Boral Sword. Also we play the, which I think is like, so this is probably my favourite Secret Rare ever, which looks great. Looks awesome. So these cards are really important for the deck. So they enable the Guardragon plays. Also the search for the free low scale, which also is a rank 10. Can equal to a rank 7, can be really important because if you go to absolute, then you can link it off to go into Vortex, which is really strong. So Dark Worm is like really important for the Pendulum deck because Guardragon plays are just insane in today's meta. So that is all the turbo cards. We play quite a few turbo cards. So getting like a discard from Penkle, this Dark Worm is really good because it can just turbo out even more. So these are all the turbo cards we play, because obviously Electromite is just the best card ever in Pendulums. Would love to see it too, but I don't think it'll happen. Okay, for the Magicians, play 3 Harmonizing, because Harmonizing is just like so insane, because you can special from deck, and it being a tune as well is just super good, because you can go into your Synchro 8s or Synchro 7s. Also for the Magicians, we play 3 Wisdom Eye. So Wisdom Eye is pretty good. Pretty six and a Penkle, but having the ability to literally get a free scale from deck is super good. So yeah, so we have to play 3. Also for the Magicians, we play the 2 Oath Dragon. So Oath Dragon is good because it's a good low scale, and its effect is pretty decent as well to either add a card from the graveyard as a monster, or when it is in a Pendulum scale, you can add a Magician back to your hand, which is super good. Especially if you use your normal summon for Electromite as well, you can just get back a Harmonizing, let's say. Also for the Magicians, we play 2 Black Fang and 2 Purple Poison. Both really good in toolbox and good scales. Purple Poison is actually really even better now because of the bat scale, because I think this deck kind of struggles going seconds, especially because it loses to Anti-Spell and Imperial Order, so having Purple Poison is really good. And then last but not least, the Dragon Pit. So again, like Purple Poison, it can get rid of Black Rose, and it being a rank 7 is super good. And then obviously you can access it by the either Wisdom Eye and the Harmonizing. So yeah, it's pretty good. So then for the Guardragon end board, we kind of want to end on this guy. I'd be testing him with Sloth. I feel like this is probably the better option, just because Pangatrops cannot beat over Goliath, and Phantasme as well. So I think Goliath is just like, is probably the better version. If you're going to choose either Sloth or Goliath, like Sloth's good because it's a rank 6 and you can either pen summon it or just normal summon it by tributing 1. So, but I prefer Goliath because it's just a blowout if your opponent can't get over it. Also for the monsters, we play Destrudo for Guardragon combos. And then to main off the to round off the monsters, we play 3 Pango Drops. So my idea for this is options for going second, and he's a rank 7, so you can go into absolute and then end on vortex. So yeah, I like Pango Drops in the main. I think it's really good. If you go first, you can just side him out. I will be showing a side later on in the video, so stay tuned for that. So that is all the monsters, and then for the spells, we play 3 Pencal with the Duelist Alliance. So I play 45 cards, so when you don't see Pencal, it's a bit of a pain, so that's why you kind of want to max out. I would play the 3rd Duelist Alliance, but it's just Ash bait, and you don't want to clog your hands with multiple of these, so I think 5 is a good ratio. And then you can side out the Duelist Alliance for like going second, maybe for a Twin Twister or something, depends what your matchup is, I suppose. Also for the Turbo Enablers, we play the Fool's Burial with a 2 Dragon Shrine, so these can send your Dark Worm or your Shugo, so you've got some options. So that's what I like about the deck, there's so many options, so many paths you can go down to create that final board to stop your opponent, and then go in second and use OTK as well. So, and then to round it off the main deck, play 3 Desires, because 3 Desires in this deck is insane, because we play multiples, so we max out and everything. So the Banish 10 does not hurt at all, and it's just a free 2 cards pretty much. Maybe if you banish Goliath, and worst case scenario, banish Goliath and all you harmonising, but that is pretty slim, so that's why I think this card is just less risky in Pendulums, and the draw 2 is absolutely insane. So that is it for the main deck, 45 cards. So next up, I'll show the extra. So the extra, obviously best card in the deck, the Electromite, no explanation needed for that. Next we play the Zephyr Metatron. So the Zephyr Metatron is insane because you got the 3 arrows down, and yeah, it's just so good for the Pen Summon and Guardragon combos. So next we play the LP. So LP is actually really insane. I will show you guys like a board I end on after the video, but yeah, LP is insane. IB. So I like using IB because it can give your boards a bit more protection. It's really good. B-Cop. So B-Cop is a alternative to Electromite. I know obviously it doesn't have the effect of Electromite, but the generic 2 monsters with arrows down is super good, especially if you're trying to play around like a Roar or a Negate or Crescendo even. Yeah, it's really good. So for the toolbox cards, we play the Phoenix and Unicorn. I really like these, I think they're awesome. That gets rid of mine, and that can get rid of any problematic monster, and it provides an arrow down. So yeah, so that is it for the sort of toolbox cards. And then obviously Borisword, because it's really easy to get the Link 4 out and just OTK for game. So for the rank 7 package, we just play Absolute with the Vortex. No explanation needed for those. So for the rank 4s, we only play Tornado and Abyss Dweller. There's so much other options you can play. I was playing the Dark Rebellion, I think it was, for the OTK, but I think Borisword is just so much better. So yeah, so that is it for the rank 4s, and these can be blowouts, so super good. And then for the synchros, we play Savage. So Savage is insane because he's so easy to make in this deck, and getting that negate, and he can be a beat stick as well, so he's insane. Meteor Burst can enable combos, and if you're trying to OTK, it's good against Sky Striker because you can't use Ray in battle phase. So yeah, that's pretty good. And the Dawn Dragster. So this is a blowout against Striker and in Mirror. So yeah, so that is it for the extra. So let's quickly go on to the side. So for the side, I'm just doing 3 Lancia, 3 Apex even. So I decide this thing going first, take out the Pango Drops, and you've got literally a really good deck for going first. So yeah, so that is it. Also for the side, we played 3 Denko. So Denko is a blowout for Striker in any sort of back row deck. So I love Denko in Pendulums because it's so easy to use. Also we play 3 Ash. So I was maining Ash at one point. I was playing 48 card Pendulum with 3 Ash and 3 Pango Drops, but I felt like it broke too much. but it being a tuner as well is actually not too bad. It comes up. And to wrap it off for the side, 3 evenly, because it's just a blowout against Striker and really good against like rogue back row decks like Paleo and Draco and stuff. So yeah, so that is it for the deck. So 45 card Pendulum. So I'm quickly going to show you guys the board you actually want to end on. So you use the Guardragon combos to go into your plays, and then it's actually insane what you can do, and it's quite simple, so it doesn't take that too many cards, but it is such a blowout when you resolve it. So that goes there. So yeah, so if you're new guys, don't feel free to subscribe. I will try and upload weekly for my new subscribers. So yeah, so this is the board you kind of want to make. So you've got LP. LP on the far right pointing to Goliath, and then Electromite above with the Priest, the Ib, and then the Vortex. So I might do a video in the future to show some combos, but that is it guys. So I'm going to show off this, again before we leave, I'm going to show off this awesome new mat I got at Euros. So yeah, super awesome. So yeah, I'm going to show, so that is the end board that we make. So thanks for watching guys. I will try and upload more often. So hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Take care.